as well as announcing the shortlist for the Chapbook Prize. We will also have readings from those who are shortlisted. But first, let's begin with a land acknowledgement.
The members of the Meet Press Collective acknowledges their presence on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations. For us currently at the Coach House Books, the area known as Takarondo has been taken care of by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Wendat, and the Métis. It is now home to many Indigenous people. We acknowledge the current treaty holders and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. In addition, we would ask that you please consider the land that you're currently residing on and reflect on your relationship with the Indigenous peoples around you. Especially in a time where we can't travel around a lot, this is an opportunity to do further research and learn more about the peoples who have cared for the land around you.
The Meet the Press Collective is responsible for organizing the award, and in fact, this whole night. The current Jacqueline Valencia, Paul Dutton, Stuart Ross, Aaron Tucker, me, Aaron Tucker.
First, we'd like to let you know a little bit about what's going to happen tonight. We're going to begin with readings from 4 past winners of the bpNichol Chapbook Award.
The second half of the show will begin with the announcement of the short list, and then we'll have readings by those on the list.
And then in between that, singer-songwriter Ben Walker will sing 2 songs from his album based on Stuart Ross's poems.
We'd like to thank Coach House Press for allowing us to host this evening in their beautiful and historic Coach House. It's been obviously a center for small press for many decades. Maybe we'll print off a few chapbooks while no one's looking. Beautiful paper. We'd also like to thank those of you who donated money tonight. We really appreciate your support.
So let's begin. The bpNichol Chapbook Award recognizes excellence in Canadian poetry in English, published in chapbooks from within Canada.
The award celebrates the work and life of bpNichol, who is a preeminent Canadian poet who devoted his career to the expanded possibilities of language, creating visual and sound poetry within and in addition to his numerous books and countless chapbooks. Nichol was a mentor to many writers and an inspiring community builder. He was an advocate for poetry in general and a champion of small press publishing in particular.
He said, "Supporting small press is supporting literature on the cutting edge. Small press is the guardian of literary culture and free speech." We couldn't agree more.
Toward the end of his life, Nichol co-founded with Philip McKenna of the Phoenix Foundation a poetry chapbook award, which, after Nichol's untimely death, was renamed in his honor and has continued under the aegis first of the Phoenix Foundation and currently of Meet the Presses.
The prize is awarded to a poetry chapbook judged to be the best submitted. The author receives $4,000 and the publisher receives $500. Awarded continuously since 1986, the bpNichol Chapbook Award is currently administered by the Meet the Press Collective and is typically awarded at our annual indie literary market. We're going to go into more detail towards the end of the night about what the market's going to look like this year, as well as announce the bpNichol shortlist.
First, though, Stuart Ross is going to say a few words about an award that gives special recognition to someone in the small press community.
Hi there, my name is Stuart Ross, one of the founding members of the Meet the Presses Collective. I'm here to give out an award we've never given out before, one that recognizes an individual's contributions to the small press community and readership. When I floated the name of Ottawa poet and blogger Michael Dennis, the other collective members were unanimous in their enthusiasm. Michael writes punch-in-the-gut, unpretentious poems that are often inspired by the various jobs he's held, working on the assembly line in auto plants, laboring in copper mines, installing artworks in galleries and offices, washing dishes and cooking in a strip club, being Santa at a Kmart, and running a non-profit ESL school in Czechoslovakia. Michael published his first poems in the early 1970s, and he has since published about 40 books and chapbooks through presses in Ottawa, Vancouver, Peterborough, Coburg, Delhi, Renfrew, Minneapolis, and even Trondheim, Norway. Back in 2013, Michael had this idea of starting up a blog called Today's Book of Poetry, and in the 7 years that followed, he wrote in-depth and very entertaining appreciations of over 800 poetry books by literary presses in Canada, the US, the UK, and elsewhere. Why did he do it? Because he loves poetry, and it was a great way to get his hands on books he never would have otherwise seen or read. Suddenly, readers across North America and beyond were getting tastes of works by small regional publishers and getting to know poets they'd never heard of before. Michael's generosity, his enthusiasm, his dedication to poetry and poets, his egoless approach to all these things are inspiring. So, the Meet the Presses Collective is proud to recognize Michael's achievements with the first award he's won in over 4 decades of working in the small press trenches. This is the Special Recognition Award for Commitment and Devotion to Small Press. It says here, presented to Michael Dennis for working to bring a larger audience to over 800 exciting books of small press poetry from Canada, the US, and beyond through his astonishing blog, Today's Book of Poetry, and for his own remarkable 4-decade body of uncompromising work. Thank you so much, Michael, and congratulations. You know, there's a lot of love all over this continent and beyond for you. I'm just going to show you a little picture of Michael in the back of this book, Low Center of Gravity, which came out last spring from Anvil Press. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to wind up by reading one of his poems, and it's called Damned Poets. The new bookcase, simple and finished pine planks, makes me happier than any piece of wood should. I spend my days in this study, thousands of poets staring out at me from the shelves, all of them shouting. You'd think they could agree on something, but they don't agree on a damned thing.
Someone keeps trying to mute us, like you don't want to hear every word that we say. Congratulations.
And if you are at Mural, let us know that you're here, that we can all kind of congratulate you in the chat as well. It is really well deserved, and really happy that we could recognize it this way. So now we're going to introduce the past winners of the bpNichol Chapbook Award, who we're going to read tonight. We have 4 of them.
Mark Laba won the first award in 1987 for his book, The Mac Bolan Poems, published by Gesture Press. His latest book is The Inflatable Life, published by Anvil Press. Mark currently lives in Vancouver.
Second reader, Sonnet L'Abbé, won in 2017 for Anima Canadensis, published by Junction Books. Sonnet currently teaches at Vancouver Island University, and her latest book is Sonnet Shakespeare, published by Talon Books.
Third reader, Nicole Markotić, won in 1998 for her chapbook, More Excess. She teaches at the University of Windsor. Her latest book is Rough Patch, a YA novel, published by Arsenal Pulp Press.
Our final reader, Jessica Johns, won just last year for How Not to Spill, published by Rahila's Ghost Press. Most recently, her short story Bad Cree won the 2020 Writers' Trust Journey Prize and won silver at the 2020 National Magazine Awards.
So without further ado, here are our past winners.
Beyonce. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to read today. My name is Jessica Johns. I am Nehiyaw, Cree on my mom's side and English and Irish on my dad's, and a member of Sucker Creek First Nation, which is in Treaty 8 territory, Northern Alberta. And I am the very honored and lucky recipient of the 2019 bpNichol Chapbook Award, which I co-won. This How Not to Spell, co-won that last year with Nazra, and it's a wonderful legacy to have, and I'm so humbled and grateful to have it. And I'm going to be sharing with you today one poem from this work called Nehiyaw Iskwewak. Nehiyaw Iskwewak. Nehiyaw Iskwewak, dream and laugh louder than anyone else. Auntie says dreams are messages, and to treat them like cracked sidewalks, like bone-bare trees, like playing crib with your aunties before supper. Be careful. Let them be beautiful, and pay attention. She also says Nehiyawak find themselves in ceremony, and I wonder if my ancestors would mind that my ceremony is FaceTiming my nieces and nephew every Sunday. It is kissing their photos and showing up. It is repeating phrases in Nehiyawewen as I clean my kitchen sink. It is wanting to have 2 wives and 1 husband, and filling them with so much love, they feel it in the webs of their feet. All I want is to make this a future they would recognize. Make my face a face Kukum would hold in her soft hands and say, "Hello, I've been waiting to see you my whole life." Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Sonnet L'Abbé, and I am coming to you from Snuneymuxw territory, unceded traditional territory of Hulkaminam-speaking Coast Salish peoples, otherwise known as Nanaimo. And it's great that Meet the Presses is doing this online celebration. Congratulations to all of the shortlisted, and I'm going to read to you from Anima Canadensis, that won the bpNichol Prize in 2017. Okay. First poem is called Hue. In many languages, hue is not separated into blue and green. It is all blue, greenish. The body sits like a green-blue stem under the sun. Human, all its greenness is inside, flowing back blue rivers from its extremities. Tides of blue sky come in, move out of the lungs. The system sips clear green water. Mouth tears up at the taste of lettuces. Who can know even all the blue leaves on the tree outside my window? How many monks sit writing in the walled city of the cell? Every breath a kind of autumn, the little green platelets reddening again. Okay. Yeah, in this book, I think a lot about metaphors of root, both in language and ancestry, and then I think a lot about the morphological similarities between our nervous systems and our vascular systems and plant systems. Okay, so this one is called Brainstem. Strong neck, the channel through which your roots become branches. Strong neck, the trunk through which your impulses flow, tides of perception and reaction. You are a battery of cells, positive of material, anti-positive of nervous potential. You, a dyad of bunches of waving branches and bundled branches, of bunches of searching roots and rooting roots. The spine of your decision-making is a flexible tension between your head and heart. The moving tree that is you grows in more dimensions than knowledge. In its reach, yes, in its span, but also, if it is lucky, in knowledge's rootedness, in its density, in the neck's rough skin, thickened to injury, the neck that lifts above its heart a head of power, ever spring fond, ever fall wise, a tender, leafy power to love light. Okay, and the last one I'll read is called Affection. I am an information tree, pulse and impulse object, me, and I, impulse and pulse activity. That a data river through an ear can rhyme? This body smiles, its sense sublime. Rods and cones, the black upon white text, connects to what is manifest in words like perfect, zero, God, subject. Ectodermal cells became my melanin, my sensitive nerves, brain, interpolated skin. From all one stem, my without and within. Learning seasons again and again. I smell of fear and lost leaves, taste of discipline. Tree, tree, tree. The fractal, irised, of my eye maps in your branches, apples of my eye. Thanks.
Good evening. My name's Mark Laba. This is my emotional support dummy, Mr. Puzzle. And we're pleased as punch that Gary Barwin and the other organizers of this wonderful shindig have invited us to participate with all the other wonderful past winners of the amazing bpNichol Chapbook Award. So, of course, none of this would be even happening if it hadn't been for this book put out by Nick Power and his great Gesture Press. And you couldn't ask for anything better. Nick, he mimeographed insides and then spent what I think is a fortune on this amazing cover by artist Michael Reinhardt, who I never met, but anyway, that was the book that got me the award, and I'm still proud as anything of that. And a funny story, just a real quick story, because I got very limited time here. When this book was, I was working at a photo lab in Toronto at the time, 1987, when this book came out, or when it was being made. And I walked into I was in the black and white photo section, that was where I worked, but I walked into the color lab area, and this cover was coming off the photo lab drum. It was on the big drum that puts the gloss on. I went, holy jeez, that's me, that's my book, I couldn't believe it. And that week I was also fired from that job, for good reason too. So turned out in the long run, I really did need the money that I did receive from the bpNichol Chapbook Award. At least I was probably still unemployed that many months, or I don't know how much longer. Anyway, let's get down to it. I got very little time. Puzzle, you with me? You ready? Yeah, I hate this. I could have been the next Howdy Doody. I'm stuck with a ventriloquist poet. Okay, well, let's do it. Here's a quick poem. It's really stupid. It's called Dry Cleaning. Puzzle's going to help me by showing some illustrations. He feels that the poem is so obscure it needs some drawings to help out. So, you ready, Puzzle? Yeah, okay, you piece of crap. Let's go. Okay. Wait, instead of throwing your voice, why don't you just throw yourself off a bridge? Okay, it's enough of that. Dry cleaning. You ready, Puzzle? I'm going to need your help. Yeah, whatever. Here we go. Stand backed up too close to the barbecue. with a can of Pam aerosol cooking spray in his back pocket that ignited into a small, flaming fireball. Paso, I need a picture. Goddamn picture. There. Loud enough to shock even those out of viewing range or lounging on nearby lawn chairs, but hidden by immense umbrellas to block the sun's rays, jarring them out of their mid-afternoon gin and tonic golf and country club reveries. But its small but volatile explosion, so unlike the striking of a golf ball or the clinking of ice in a highball glass or the light laughter of polite people adhering to a strict social code around a water-filled and heavy chlorinated hole in the ground. Another picture puzzle. Oh, we got that one puzzle? There. Oh, that's a beauty. But nevertheless, resulting in a portion of Stan's right buttock separating from his body, sliced as it were by the jagged aluminum shrapnel of the Pam can, the remains of which skittered across the concrete before landing in the pool, where it emptied its remaining air against the stretched skin of an inflatable toy flamingo. And then the buttock piece, flying through the air where it landed with nary any fanfare but for a slight plop in the parking lot of a strip mall. Well past its glory years, the strip mall, not Stan's buttock, or maybe it holds true for both, coming to rest between the grill of a Chevy Malibu and the front door of a dry cleaner's, a piece of seersucker shorts still clinging to the lumpish mass. Let's show that puzzle. That's disgusting. All right. Where was I? Here we are. The dry cleaner, hearing the noise, emerged from the shop and thought, well, hell, that sucker's got blood on it. I can't clean that. Hey, Pam, he called to his wife, which was odd because the whole episode began with a can of Pam and ended with a strip of buttock, laying like a tiny beached whale. I need a picture puzzle. Beach whale, got it. Okay. On a sidewalk 2 blocks away, in a dry cleaner asking his wife Pam if they could clean the seersucker seared into its flesh, if you can believe that, which I do. Anyway, the dry cleaner asked his wife, Pam, do you think we can get that seersucker clean? But Pam couldn't hear him over the sound of the mechanized clothes hanger conveyor belt that held the finished dry cleaning and revolved on a clanking chain that seemed to wind all around the place before disappearing into a mysterious back area hidden by a wall that Pam kept emerging from, her hairdo decaying over the course of the day due to the chemical sweat of the machines and the pressure of customers trying to erase murder, drunkenness, and marital infidelity from their clothing. So it was a judgment call on the dry cleaner's part, but the knowledge rested with his wife Pam. Oh, Pam, namesake of an aerosol cooking spray, but explosive in her own right, especially in the world of fabric. When push came to shove, and someone had to stand up for the rights of dry cleaning and its influence on modern society. Show the can of Pam, too. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. And congratulations to all the whoever's going to win this year, and the long listers and the short listers and all the listers, because it's all great. And thank you very much. Good night.